Passionate about sports? Want to talk college, prep, or pros? It's time to enter the Sports Zone with Patrick Highland. Call in. Tell Patrick how you see it. In Hillsboro, 813-289-1860. Anywhere else, toll free 877-969-8600. And now your host, Patrick Highland.
All right. We're getting ready for college football season. Matthew McConaughey, his Texas Longhorns, ranked number 1 with Arch Manning going to be leading the way for him. We'll see what happens there. We're going to try to make Granddad proud. It should be a lot of fun this year. And then you have Penn State right behind them. So we'll be getting into some college football. But before we start that, I have to thank our military, because without them, we wouldn't have the freedom we have in this great country of ours. And thank God all the men and women that have served and are serving right now. Thank you for your service. You don't get told that enough, and you're not get compensated enough either. So that needs to be said, just like our teachers. They do a heck of a job. They're trying to educate the kids and get back to the level of back in the 70s and 80s when we were in the top 10 versus the bottom 20s. So let's hope we can make a turn there also. And all our first responders, they got to see a lot of carnage, and it's not cool. And they do a great job, and God bless them for all the work they do. And our policemen and women, they just want to get home at night. So please don't be, against the law. Don't be unlawful. Okay. It's just ridiculous. All you do is cause more problems for everybody and yourself. So let's be cognizant of that. So that being said,
speaking of military, a quick shout out to a friend of the show, and congratulations to Senator Jay Collins, who's a good friend of the show. I guess we can't call him Senator anymore.
Sir. Oh, you can always call him that.
Well, we could call him that, but now it's congratulations to Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins, and just a shout out to Jay and Layla and the family, and all the good work he does with Operation Barbecue, forgetting the politics. He
doesn't matter.
Feeds it. He doesn't ask what side you're on when he's out there in the disaster areas and when he was over in Israel. But just a quick, congratulations to Jay, and I'm sure he'll do a great job.
Well, he said it perfect. And you know how you can tell when sometimes people are shifting their eyes and moving their head that they're talking out of where? Not Jay. He says, look, if you didn't vote for me, that's your business. And I respect that because I fought for that. But if you need my help, I'm still going to help you because it's the right thing to do. Yeah. And you're not going to hear that from too many guys.
It was a good event. I was lucky enough to be invited. And, these days on the back end of my politics, I haven't been going to these events because it's just same old. But Jay, he's a special man. Yes, he is a special friend to me, and it was a great event. Whatever happens for him in the future, he has had a meteoric rise, and congratulations to him and the family.
He deserves it. He's going to be a great lieutenant governor, and you know what? He has a sense of humor. A lot of guys in his position don't have that. I'll never forget, he was on the show, and it was hilarious. I was like, hey, man, you're pretty much a centrist, and I love that about you, but you do lean toward the right. And he goes, Patrick, why are you making fun of my, amputee leg?
That's right.
And we just fell over laughing, going, Jay, that was good. And, that you can't make that stuff up.
No,
you can't. He just said it out of nowhere. And, his wife's in a nice position now. It would have been nice if she could have won but things happen for a reason.
And he is a big Bucks fan.
Yeah, he is.
His two boys. So speaking of the Bucks,
very fortunate, but it's exhibition. I'm not going to make a big deal. If you want to get technical, when they didn't make it on 4th and 1 at the 50, they're very lucky that the QB for the Steelers said, let's help them out, and throws a pick. So, they really should have lost the game 17-14. But again, it's preseason. You're going for things. If it was regular season, they wouldn't even gone for it. Okay. They would have just punted the ball. So you got to put that in the equation too.
I can honestly say, as long as Teddy Bridgewater has been in the league, I've never really paid. Of course, I've watched him, but never paid attention to him. He doesn't have a strong arm, never has. He doesn't have that cannon, but good God, does he have touch?
Just like Drew Brees.
Even now, those two passes he threw, granted, It happens. Who were well, I guess they did have their first team, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but his touch is I don't know if they've decided he's going to be the emergency backup already, but he staked a good claim what he
Oh
did
yeah.
last
Yeah, I
night.
know. If Baker goes down, you'd be in a lot better hands with
I don't
Teddy
know.
Bridgewater.
I can't say that. Trask looked good the first game. He didn't look great this game. So I don't know.
They're just from what I've heard from people going to the practices, Kyle, will make a nice 12-yard out throw and then the next time sell it into the stands. You can't have that inconsistency like that. That's the problem. And he's a nice kid. He's come from nowhere and made it. We joked around last week or the week before about he's got the sweetest job in the National Football League, man. Big
Yeah.
money and just gets to hold
Yeah.
the clipboard. It's a beautiful thing. So, but of all the people in the NFL, he's one of the nicer guys. I don't know, maybe because of all the different offensive coordinators, Scott, he just hasn't made the
Hey, but
maturation progress. He hasn't played. That's not going to help you. Teddy's been coaching, and people don't realize that. I think that helps you, also be a better quarterback, just coaching and getting the more mental side of it. So he looked very cool and calm in the pocket, too. He only threw a couple bad throws, like you said. And some of them were the offensive line not pass blocking properly. That's why they got knocked down. So Joshua, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing great. That hospital ball that he threw to J-Mac.
Yeah, that was a little rough.
Yeah. I mean,
Thank
that's what
God.
you cannot do that in the preseason at all.
What you're saying is that's not a good way to win friends and influence people by
No.
throwing the 20-foot high ball.
No.
And again, like we do have that type of team where they're leaving everything out on the field, which you want, like you can tell we're playing with that extra, even in the preseason. There's just an extra level, it feels like, that you're hearing from training camp, from everyone that's going to these practices, from everyone that's covering the team, even on a national level. Everyone's saying, like, this is a legit team. They're well run from top to bottom. And just the hype it's really, really, really building in a game like yesterday. I mean, dude, even locally, I was out at the bars watching the game and then UFC fights. People were riled up watching the Bucks. I mean, it's because you're out and about, you see them scoring touchdowns and stuff. And it was like, Bucky catching that one in the end zone was awesome.
Yeah, beautiful.
Buka in the back of the end zone was
What a
awesome. But
catch.
I was looking at, you wouldn't have known it was a preseason game,
No.
just the way people were reacting
Oh.
and hooting and hollering
He-
and cheering.
He's
It's football season. You can feel it.
Book. He's a different cat. You just forget the way, and I know, like we say, you've got football fans, you got average fans, you got bandwagon jumpers. That guy runs routes. He's forget him catching the ball, the way he comes off the line, his size, but what really impressed me, this guy's a different cat. If you told me he was been in the league 3-4 years, just the way he talks, the way he's interviewed, the way there's more to him.
He reminds me of Chris Carter, man. Without the baggage, Chris will tell you when he first came out, he had an attitude and a chip on his shoulder. And thank God it got knocked off because obviously he made a heck of a career. And this kid reminds me of him as far as the way he runs routes in his hands. If he can be disciplined and work hard and do what he's supposed to.
I hate to say it, he's a lot like Mike Evans. He's
He's Chris Godwin, brother.
I think he's
it's right there. Everyone doesn't have to be. We know you like Mike Evans. Mike Evans is great.
Godwin is a slasher type. This guy is Godwin is not as much a dominant one-on-one with a corner. Godwin gets open. This guy, you can just see his size, his hands, like you said. He's a guy you can throw it up 50-50 and he's going to win most of them. That's not Godwin's style. Godwin is a slot slasher, gets open, runs fantastic routes. He's the best route runner on the team. But
he has very good hands.
But this, like you said, Chris Carter, Evans, those type of guys, that 50-50 jump balls, they win most of them.
Godwin and him are like the same exact size for maybe half an inch.
Right. And Torrey Holt. Okay, let's go to Torrey Holt. That's who this kid reminds me of. And if you can put him in the slot, you're grinning. What? You don't like Torrey, or you don't think he's all that?
It's Chris Godwin. He's Chris Godwin 2.0. Why are we digging so much? He's right there. And it's going to be perfect because Godwin's
not a one-on-one guy.
Godwin will not be healthy to start the season. And Buka is already developed. He spent all 4 years at Ohio State, phenomenal college, surrounded by a lot of other elite, which is now NFL wide receiver talent. He's polished. He's developed. He's ready to step in right away. You saw that last night in the back of the end zone. The ability to get the ball and get your knee down and be able to stay in, running the precise routes. Bro, no one is going to be able to cover our receivers.
Let me tell you
if
why.
they're all healthy.
Let me tell you why I brought up Torrey Holt. You know,
It's a good comp. I'm not saying that's wrong. I love Torrey Holt. Greatest show on turf. Him and Isaac Bruce and Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk. That was one of the first elite offenses I ever remember watching.
I see this guy as more good as Isaac Bruce than a Torrey Holt.
Well, they're both excellent. Here's why I brought up Torrey Holt. He's not in the Hall of Fame, which surprises me, number one. Number two, he had 8 straight seasons of 1,000 yards receiving.
How many touchdowns?
I'd have to look that up. He's a heck of a,
like we've always
they're
said,
saying the
if
system.
he's not at that 100 level touchdown, he might be.
Right.
But
no, he wasn't that type of guy, especially because they were spreading it around on that offense.
Right.
When you have Marshall Faulk, and he's got 74 though.
Yeah, that's not going to put him right away in the Hall of Fame.
No, but it's been time. It's been too long, in my opinion, that he should be in there. I'll get Josh's opinion here in a minute. But I want to finish
but
up.
he's the guy that just finish that. He's gonna suffer because there's so much better wide receiver talent now, and because he didn't get in for his era. Now, bro, we've had so much talent.
Yeah, but that's why it should be looked at, because for his era, he was that. Here's the other problem. They go with who your offense was, the system. You still have to play. That's the thing about football that is so iconic to me as far as, and it's true though, Tom Brady, if he would have went to a different organization, would he be the GOAT? Joe Montana, if he didn't go to San Francisco, would he be the GOAT of that era? We'll never know. Because,
you'll never know.
But
guys like that, they were just good through their whole career. It didn't matter.
But you look at the Marinos and the Elways, you could just see the eye test immediately that these guys are great quarterbacks. Yeah. The reason I bring it up is, is Mike Evans, going to be, popped in there on the first, because a lot of people are saying compare Torrey Holt to him. You're right, the 30 touchdowns. Again, it's different. It was a different era back then. It was easier to.
By the time of the careers are over, Evans is going to have 40 more. Minimum 40 more touchdowns.
Sure.
Torrey Holt's yardage. I mean,
but again,
when you talk
eras.
30, 40 touchdowns more, that puts you out of the same.
Well, but let's look at that.
A different era. That's like saying in the NBA or anyone, there's so much more scoring and stuff. It's how they compared to their generation. And this is what the reason that guys like Reggie Wayne, again, another good comp, since y'all are just digging for these comps for Ibuka. Reggie Wayne, Torrey Holt, Steve Smith, all elite wide receivers.
None in the top 10.
And exactly, they were consistent over their careers. They were never considered the best at their position at any point. They were good. Who does that remind you of? Mike Evans.
He's in the top 10 of every category. That's the difference.
You just want to keep ignoring what we're saying. We heard you. Good point. Okay, this is debate class now. We got your point, and now we're saying the numbers are inflated. So don't just keep bringing up that thing over and over and over again. We heard you. That's the only case.
Who else is in this era?
Devontae Adams.
One guy. You're talking 2 guys every time.
They were both drafted in the same class. That's why it's a perfect
Who
comp.
else? Who else, guys? Who else is with those 2? Don't keep talking era unless you're throwing names that are comparable for the last 11 years to those 2 receivers. And there aren't, you had 2 or 3 year flashes, but you don't have anyone near
When was
those
Jamar
2
Chase drafted?
Oh my God, he's new.
Yeah, so
he's brand new.
You can't put him in the mix.
No,
21.
Trying to see if there's
look at that draft.
Jefferson.
class.
To Patrick's point, where Devontae and Mike are going to get forgotten because you have these amazing guys like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, who are going to put up these crazy numbers that are going to compare to them, and then it's going to be like, oh yeah, they were just the beginning of the new trend.
It's going to be interesting to find out. We're going to take a quick time out here on AM 860, The Answer, the Sports Zone. We come back, we'll talk a little bit about the Bucs preseason. Want to talk a lot of Giant fans listening to the show. Jackson Dart looked very good yesterday. That should make the Giant fans very excited and see what happens. And the Jets fans, boy, they are not happy campers. That's kind of funny. New York's a trip state when it comes to sports. We'll take your calls at 813-282-8283 on the other side of the break. We'll be right back.
Happy Sunday from the Sports Zone with Patrick Highland. And we do hope that it's a happy day and that everything is going as well for you and your family as it possibly can. that today is a good day and that you have many, many more good days in front of you. But no matter how well any of us are doing on this good day, the unfortunate reality of life remains that all of us are likely to face bad days in the future, no matter how distant that future may seem right now. When it comes to matters of health, particularly as we and our loved ones get older, it's predictable that all of us are likely to face hard challenges the longer we live, and that is multiplied by the amount of people we are directly responsible for. You may not want to ask yourself this question, but what if something unexpected happened to you today or tomorrow? How would your family be impacted, particularly those who are relying on you? Is there a plan in place for the bad days that all of us will inevitably face? Just like the best time to prepare for the storm is before storm season arises, so too is it best to prepare for the toughest seasons of your life during these times, which are relatively good and free from the storms. If you don't feel confident that you're prepared for those bad days ahead, either for yourself or your family, give Patrick Hyland a call right now. 813-966-1052. That's 813-966-1052. Patrick has insurance solutions and years of experience helping people plan for their financial future and guiding them through the storms of their lives. When it comes to matters of health, finances, and the challenges that go along with getting older, Patrick's experience can help you find the right answers. You can't ensure that bad days ahead won't happen, but you can insure yourself against the worst possible scenarios. So buy yourself some peace of mind while your skies are still peaceful and call Patrick Hyland today. 813-966-1052. That's 813-966-1052. And if you're a veteran, we thank you for your service.
Welcome back to the Sports Zone. Let's get back to the discussion. In Hillsboro, 813-289-1860. Anywhere else, toll free 877-969-8600. And now your host, Patrick Hyland.
All right, folks, thanks for tuning in on AM 860 The Answer, the Sports Zone. We appreciate you checking us out, and it's fantastic. Now, Vito has been holding on the line. Vito, I hope you have some good intel for us. Good morning to you, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Ben Jonah. How you doing?
Very good. How about yourself?
No complaints. No complaints, really.
All right. So what's on your mind today for the zone?
Well, I heard you talking about the wide receiver. So, first and foremost, where's my boy Josh? He in the room, right? He's in the room, right?
He's there right here, live and in color, baby.
Live and in color, yeah, live and in color.
What's going on, my guy? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Hey, listen, our boys are going at it again tomorrow.
Yes, they are.
We put a little friendly wager on it.
Yeah. If my round of golf, we'll bet a round of golf on it.
I'm in.
All right, there we go. You have to stay away from these tournaments. The majors are the only ones where they really both give it all, but you got to expect they'll bring the best out of each other.
This is a big one. It's Cincinnati's probably one of the top 3,000 tournaments next to the four majors. So, this is the prelude to the U.S. Open. So these guys want to win this one, and it's important. I'm hoping my little Italian girl Paolini takes the title as well. I'll be watching her this afternoon. Anyway, so the wide receiver talk. We hear about this all the time, right? The whole Mike Evans story. Adams is his comparable, person all the time when you bring it up. Mike Evans has never and never will be the best wide receiver in football. But you could put him in the conversation of the most consistent wide receiver in football through 2015 to now. That he could be top 5 in that. But he's never been the best, and nor will he be the best. He's just not fast enough. He has lulls from time to time. Incredibly consistent. But I feel that when Hall of Fame talks come, he should be put in not because how great he was, but how good he was for that span of time, which is just as important. My dissertation point is, I don't think it should matter if you're great for a short period of time or if you're okay or good or semi-good for a long period of time. I think either point is irrelevant. I'm interested to hear what you say about that. Both of those people that I just explained should be both in the Hall of Fame.
So, do you think Torrey Holt should be in the Hall of Fame first and foremost?
I don't have a problem him being in, without question. He was dominant for a short period of time. You know,
Right.
you look at the guys that during Mike Evans' era, all right, the 10 years, 15 to now, give or take. He was never in, you know, the couple of years that Antonio Brown was the best guy. He was never in his conversation. Julio Jones, never in his conversation. Fitzgerald, never in his conversation. D-Hop, who actually still playing, never in his conversation. Calvin Johnson, who to me is the best guy we've seen in the last 20 years as a whole, but obviously his touchdown and his, you know, getting tackled at the one for some reason 75 times, but and obviously where he played, he has his name as much as well. But all those guys, you know, Torrey Holt wasn't those guys, neither was Mike Evans. But Torrey Holt's a very good comparison to Evans based on, you know, consistency again. Never the dominant guy, but, you know, St. Louis, like Josh said before, you know, the greatest show on earth. They had greatest show on turf for that, man. They were ahead of the time a little bit. And that offense, everybody in it, you know, benefited from it. Where I think I'll give a little kudos to Evans here there. You know, the offense that he plays in and the teams he plays with, they're not ahead of anything. They're, you know, he's playing in the same realm as everybody else. You know, doing the same things, playing the cover twos the last 4 or 5 years where nobody gets deep anymore. And, you know, where wide receiver numbers have actually decreased. I definitely think that Holt should be in, and I think Evans should be in first glance.
So the question, none of us doubt that Evans will make the Hall of Fame eventually. The question is whether or not he's first ballot. Scotty Levinson over here is adamant that the touchdown numbers alone.
No, and yards. He's top 10 in yards, guy. Not in yards, but if you look per season, yes, he is a top 10 in the numbers.
So that's the question. And for me, someone like the first ballot Hall of Fame is reserved for your Larry Fitzgerald, Marvin Harrison, Chris Carter, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice. I think there's that's a special elite group of people in my eyes that Mike Evans, as Vito just eloquently said.
You know what's funny that Josh, you bring
That's levels to this.
Well, see, and a lot of people agree with you and me on that, but a lot of people disagree, and I'll tell you why.
Well, they're wrong, Patrick, and we're right. You got to realize that by now.
Sir,
guys, to me, the Hall of Fame, I don't care what sport it is about the numbers. It's about the numbers.
What I'm alluding to is first ballot. You know, you have these sports writers who get silly. And one guy didn't vote Derek Jeter in on the first ballot. You know, you always have these 1 or 2 guys who do that. Now, Vito, I'm the type of guy, you know, that does that a little bit, but I'm trying to come around. If I'm going to vote him in 3 years, why don't I just vote him in now and quit the nonsense? But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. It's a matter of opinion. What's your thoughts on that?
All right. Well, I'm a big baseball guy, and the Hall of Fame is a button topic for me with baseball. I mean, if you guys had an hour, I could get into the logistics and the BS behind it and everything else that I can't stand about it, and the things I do like about it, which is probably a shorter list. But that being said, you know, the Hall of Fame is about what? Immortalizing you as what you did in that particular genre, whatever it is. You know, the simple fact that if someone who has almost nothing to do with you has the ability to not give you that, first of all, and it's not even a peer. It's somebody who put pen to paper and never strapped it on or not every sport. That to me is it's past ludicrous. Whatever the word after ludicrous is, it's that one, maybe a few more. You can't tell me that if you played for something for 15, 16 years and you had passion about it, your parents went through, you know, Little League Baseball and travel ball and did everything, and your parents are still alive, and you're eligible for the Hall of Fame, and you don't get voted in, all right? Because, I can't put people on in the first thing. That's ridiculous. No, you're ridiculous. Now the guy's parents died. Oh, we'll put him in next year. Yeah, now my parents don't see it, you jackwagon. So, you know, so to me, if you're going to do it, if they deserve to get in, it doesn't matter first, second, third, fourth. It actually does matter a lot. It matters a lot. So put him in. The guy who didn't vote for Ichiro this year, complete and total idiot. should be taken out back and put away.
Preach,
But-
brother, preach.
Telling you, bro. Telling you. Gosh, man.
All right.
Killing me with that.
We-
Let me calm down.
We got that. We got things to finalize here. One, we have a golf bet.
No.
And, yes.
Yeah, well,
yes.
it's a tennis bet. Golf
Tennis.
is
We
the
have
wager.
the golf is the wager. We have to finalize this, Vito. The loser picks the course, or the winner picks the course.
Winner
I
picks and loser pays.
Listen, I think, yeah. When listen, when you lose, you can pick wherever you want. And when you buy, you'll buy and you pay. I can't be, beggars can't be choosy, right?
We need to have a one of us needs to go and video the two of you playing and see how many holes you make it and who starts cheating first.
No cheating. No cheating allowed.
No, I'm cheating there.
Hey, Vito, we appreciate you calling in, brother. You have a wonderful weekend and take care of yourself. And let's get ready for some football. College football next week, baby. Saturday, Penn State.
Andiamo.
We'll be coming up here for you real soon. We got Iowa State and Kansas State next Saturday in good old Dublin, Ireland.
Farmageddon.
Farmageddon.
That's what they're calling that one.
I love it.
I love it.
I'll be calling the next week, of course.
You got it, man. You take care. All right, folks, you're listening to AM 860, The Answer, the Sports Zone, and we're having a good time here, and we'll take your calls at 813-282-8283. We're going to take a quick timeout, and when we get back, we'll take your calls at 813-282-8283 and see what you think about the Bucs this year. Is the hype legit, or are we just getting a little bit crazy because we hadn't had football in forever? In fantasy football, Josh and I will talk about some things in fantasy football that's starting to materialize. So hang in there with us. We'll be right back.
Happy Sunday from the Sports Zone with Patrick Highland. And we do hope that it's a happy day and that everything is going as well for you and your family as it possibly can. That today is a good day and that you have many, many more good days in front of you. But no matter how well any of us are doing on this good day, the unfortunate reality of life remains that all of us are likely to face bad days in the future, no matter how distant that future may seem right now. When it comes to matters of health, particularly as we and our loved ones get older, it's predictable that all of us are likely to face hard challenges the longer we live, and that is multiplied by the amount of people we are directly responsible for. You may not want to ask yourself this question, but what if something unexpected happened to you today or tomorrow? How would your family be impacted, particularly those who are relying on you? Is there a plan in place for the bad days that all of us will inevitably face? Just like the best time to prepare for the storm is before storm season arises, so too is it best to prepare for the toughest seasons of your life during these times, which are relatively good and free from the storms. If you don't feel confident that you're prepared for those bad days ahead, either for yourself or your family, give Patrick Highland a call right now. 813-966-1052. That's 813-966-1052. Patrick has insurance solutions and years of experience helping people plan for their financial future and guiding them through the storms of their lives. When it comes to matters of health, finances, and the challenges that go along with getting older, Patrick's experience can help you find the right answers. You can't ensure that bad days ahead won't happen, but you can insure yourself against the worst possible scenarios. So buy yourself some peace of mind while your skies are still peaceful and call Patrick Highland today, 813-966-1052. That's 813-966-1052. And if you're a veteran, we thank you for your service.
Welcome back to the Sports Zone. Let's get back to the discussion. In Hillsboro, 813-289-1860. Anywhere else, toll free 877-969-8600. And now your host, Patrick Highland.
All right, folks. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in to AM 860. The Answer. And this is the Sports Zone coming at you live, and we greatly appreciate you tuning in and checking us out.
We were talking college football and cheating at the end, right before the break there.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
care about this Michigan thing where they basically got off with, nothing?
You know what's funny about that, Josh? I'm glad you brought that up, man. 'Cause
Well,
I want-
explain to the listeners what happened with Michigan and
Yeah.
explain to me.
Okay.
Uh,
They got fined a big $10 million. Is that correct, Josh? Did I say the number right? And I think they're like on some sort of probation for the next 5 years. So
But it's a revenue probation.
right.
So I mean, we're at a place. There's no more postseason bans. There's no more Ohio State, Jim Tressel, Terrell Pryor. All just think about how far we've come and how far removed we are, which I think is good generally.
So what do we got?
they were
You remember
cheating
the
by
sign
getting-
stealing?
Do you remember that?
Connor Stallions during their national championship
And that's
run?
why Jim was, suspended for a couple games.
So they've been investigating, looking in, and determining the punishment. And I mean, it was
It's this.
nothing.
And here's where it's
Can I ask y'all a question before
Sure.
you get before we start saying what they should have or shouldn't have gotten?
Mhm.
Is sign stealing?
Yeah, I know.
Is it your job to make sure your signs aren't stolen,
Yeah.
or is it?
I think so. But
Yeah.
also, I mean, so everyone does it. First of
Yeah,
all,
yeah.
I mean, this was like the Astros thing, but like, there's only getting attention because they won.
How can
True.
you still?
You know what I mean? If they didn't win
especially
the
in
Natty,
football,
what?
especially in football.
Dude, this guy was pretending to be the other team's coach, wearing their hat on the
Yeah, yeah.
sidelines, and was literally like a spy.
Yeah, he went over.
No,
the
it was
top.
crazy.
If there was a coach on the staff that was looking over there and stealing them, yeah, it's college,
Can
it's
I
big
ask
money.
how you? Well, you know
Little
what?
league, you can't
if
do it.
I'm the CEO of a company, I'm paying this guy $100 million.
I know.
Let me
Like,
tell you
he's-
something. If you have,
It's not ethical.
First of all, Patrick, you and I have been around football long enough to know.
College football, not ethical. Really? The
Really.
Big Ten. The
That's a
SEC,
good
get
point,
out of here.
Patrick, you and I have been around. There's a get back coach. We all know what a get back
Yes.
coach. He's the guy that goes up and down. I'm sorry, you don't know who your coaches are on the sideline? Come on, you deserve to have them stolen.
That's
To
funny.
those college staffs with all the grad assistants and this, like, conceptually, yeah, sure, but also
And how was he relaying to them?
because he's just a wizard, bro. I'm
No,
telling you,
no,
this
no,
guy,
no.
he was the best.
How
he
was
was the
he
best.
getting the signs to the other side?
They had their own little formula. If I know that you're going to run a draw play, I'll just touch my hat, touch my belt, and then the defense coordinator goes, "Okay, they're running draw." Highland just told us.
After the show, just search Connor Stallions on whatever it is
Yeah.
you use,
Yeah.
and you will find clips and the montages they've collected of where whole like turn and say something, and then all of a sudden everyone starts signing and doing this and
Yes.
that,
It's
and
funny.
yeah, no, insane.
But you brought up something, Josh, that needs to be discussed. Okay, Michigan. Okay, they got hundreds of millions of dollars. They have the alumni. It's kind of funny. It's like if somebody who's a millionaire is speeding a Lamborghini and you hit them for $1,000 ticket, they're like, whatever, let me write the check. But you and I, Josh, we get caught speeding, and it's like, hey, boys, this is gonna be $1,000. That's a stinger. My point being, you hit USF with this, you're going to send them back. Michigan, it's not even going to be a pimple on the elephant's tush. So come on, man. What are we doing?
I'm much more amazed by the ingenuity. Like, he literally, I think this is
saying.
only one game. I don't want to act like he was out there, but there was a game where he attended a Michigan State Central Michigan game on Central Michigan sideline, allegedly to help them with whatever. And he was getting Michigan State signs and signals and trying to do all that so that they could implement it later on.
I want to hire this guy.
I'm telling you.
I'm serious with him. That's ingenious.
It's a little loose,
just
guys.
that sort of dedication and intelligence. I'm just glad he's not out here, like, working for QAnon or the Antifa or some crazy ideology like that.
Yeah, but if he's smart enough to do that, then he's smart enough to do something that's not ethically or morally questionable, Josh. That's all I'm going to say.
Unless your ultimate goal is to win and help the team. And look, he's got more notoriety and people know about him now. So, I mean, ethical,
God bless social media.
For who, for what?
Okay.
He's done what's best for him.
Yeah. So when you and Vito are over putting and I'm watching you guys, I'm going to start jingling my keys. But, it's all good. It's, no problem. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I dropped my putter.
Can I say? I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Go ahead.
What is the reason you go to sporting events? What is the Joshua, Patrick, what AJ? What are the reasons we all go to watch and support our teams, or watch a boxer or watch a golfer and get fired up? I am so tired of golf and tennis with this quiet please. Quiet, please. Play the game.
That's
Play.
gentlemen. It's a
No.
gentleman.
No. Stop. The Phoenix Open.
That's wild.
Okay, they got no problem hitting the ball in the Phoenix Open. Why is it a problem
The
everywhere else?
one hole, and they don't make noise when the guy's hitting. Do you think it should be
What-
acceptable when I'm yelling
Yes,
and I'm over a 4-foot putt?
Yes.
It's okay. Wow.
yes.
funny.
You are the top tier people in that sport in the world, and the fans. Is it okay for a quarterback to drop back, concentrating? This, that.
Quiet, please.
Stop it. A free throw shooter.
Quiet, please. It does make you think. You know, I've said it for a lot of years. It's always cracked me up. Josh, we play golf with buddies. Now you couldn't touch the guy.
Noonan. Noonan.
You could make noises. You could throw your club head covers as you're getting ready to swing. I can throw it just out by you. I can spin up the cart as long as I'm not within 10 feet of you. Talk about some crazy golf we'd play. It would really test your.
And again, that's
mettle.
that's having fun with the boys to an extent.
Right.
But I mean, look, there'd be some golfers and tennis players that wouldn't mind at all. Some of them think it'd be an advantage, but I mean, it's just that is kind of what makes those sports what they are.
I get it, but is it any worse? The crowd applauding during a tennis rally back and forth. Is that really any worse than?
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
And
please.
for today's tennis porno,
Yeah.
Again, I think it has more to do.
You know?
sorry, but
It has more to do with the branding of the sports and what they want to represent.
That's true.
I mean,
does that bother you guys?
Yes. I don't think it
does
should be allowed.
It seem like more players are doing it just to do
Are you
it.
talking about grunting?
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less.
Okay. Well, that's you.
No,
That's fine.
but all of a
I don't care for it.
sudden,
I'm right there with you.
There was like one or two in tennis.
Here's what they're
Open.
saying: when you do that, you let out your breath and then you get it back. They say it's a smart thing. To
I mean,
do, a
yeah,
good
whenever
thing for
you're
your
doing
oxygen.
intense workouts, they say breathe.
Yeah. No,
But
I'm
you don't
just
need to
saying
make
more.
noises. Yeah,
Well,
it's a
I
little
don't
much.
care if they do it, but I don't think that's any worse than a guy
Right,
in the
yeah,
crowd
if-
saying, "Yeah."
Right, exactly. If you're allowed to grunt, then I'm allowed to
I
cheer.
mean, they don't all do. I do think that they believe it is an advantage. I don't think they're doing it just for funsies. I mean,
No,
what-
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
remember
Oh, yeah.
back
Makes
when
sense.
we only had like 30 channels and ESPN would show the random sports during the day,
Yes.
like the Black Widow.
Mhm.
Remember the girl
Oh,
on billiards?
great billiard girl.
And they would.
She's still around.
Yeah, she's a heck of a player.
I'd hope so. Your body, you don't age out of that really.
Minnesota
Fats,
Fats,
baby.
But like I miss that. It's cool having so many options and channels. That's not what I'm getting at, but I
Oh.
miss that where you would discover new things
You're right.
randomly because now we have it's just we can turn on whatever.
we
But
watched
the
bow and
strong-
arrow dodgeball. I told you that.
all the Ocho sports, it was just cool. It was a different time. But with the strongman, when they're flipping
Yes.
the tires and
Yes.
stuff,
That was cool.
they're grunting.
Yeah.
Are they doing that to intimidate their opponent
No,
or
no,
for
no.
theatrics?
No, but what I'm saying is,
But
it's
they're not returning it.
No, it doesn't matter. It's
But think
not-
about how hard Serena Williams is returning that dang
Yes.
ball.
But she didn't even grunt in her career, really.
No.
And it was. I just think I don't have a problem with them grunting. Don't get me wrong. I just think, good God, during a long rally, when someone, because you do hear the crowd picking up, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
I just, the quiet plea, holding up in golf.
I have one. Let's talk about that because now it's a very international sport, tennis and golf. Obviously, here in the US of A, would that be too much of a home field advantage for the USA pros? Josh, I'll let you answer first.
Too much of an advantage if the crowd wild.
I think, you're going to have USA when the guy from another country's playing.
Well, what about when they're playing at the French
British-
Open or the Wimbledon or
well, I'm
So
talking
you're
more
saying-
golf. I'm talking more golf in this respect, but there's more, tournament. It used to be America had a lot of tennis tournaments. Now it's got
so
more.
that part is what's really fascinating to me. I think
Go
that's
ahead.
a big reason tennis is not as popular as it used to be because we don't have the American. When's the last time an American won
Right.
a major?
You're right. No, we have not been
Like
producing.
we like American athletes
Yes.
to do well.
Yes,
You
we
see
do.
that at UFC fights. You see that or whatever. Anytime we have some, but Shelton that was pushing like
Speaking of which, who won last night?
who won what?
MMA fight, the biggest one.
Kamzat
Okay.
beat Duplessis. The Arab beat the South African,
Okay.
the white South African.
Gotcha.
Like you a big MMA guy? Like I don't know. That was a
No, just letting the audience know, who was the big fight last night, who won. Do the generation now, Scott, likes this MMA. I love boxing back in the day, Norton and Frazier and Muhammad Ali.
love a good boxing
and
match.
Same here.
who is the best American boxer?
Yeah.
Like again, there's an aspect. There's some of that with these sports, the our non-major four, non-football or whatever. Where
You know what's funny about that, Josh? In a lot of ways, I think people have realized the odds of them making it. They start putting their eggs in other baskets, and so you
Well, that's what
deplete, and it's a good thing.
it's that we make more. The best athletes. There's more earnings in basketball, in football. I mean, I'm sure LeBron James could have played tennis.
Right.
If the money was there.
That's part of it, and it's what you're brought up on also, and what's going to happen. Charles Barkley said it perfectly. He goes into high schools and I'm going to be a pro ball player. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play that. And he's like, boy, I don't hear I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a lawyer. And kids need to start thinking more like that. And I think they are. Is my point, Josh. That's why we're getting away from that a little
Just
bit.
in time for AI to replace all the jobs.
Oh, nice.
Speaking of what he was saying with the Ocho, I was flipping channels and I caught a bowling tournament.
Okay.
Talking about crowds, first of all, they pack those things. It amazes. I know bowling's a huge sport, but they pack those things that they're not huge venues, but they get and those I mean,
Darts
you talk
too.
about
the competitive dart matches, people go ballistic.
And they're yelling when I remember in the old days when Earl Anthony and all that, it was quiet. It was quiet. Nowadays in bowling, let me tell you,
when the ball's released, they'll go crazy.
But the bowlers themselves are getting the crowd hyped now.
Oh yeah, they're trying to get
Who do you think you are? I am.
That's Mr. Weber.
Yes.
Yes. Now, what's so funny about that, guys? Back in the early 80s on Saturday, guess what the most viewed sport was?
Wide World of Sports. Bowling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that crazy?
Because it's a sport
everybody can do it. Yeah, exactly.
You're saying most popular to play?
No, to watch, man.
It was on. How many channels did we have? It was on the sports channel.
No, it was on ABC. That's it. No, back then, Josh, we only had 3. We were just getting into ESPN in the early 80s. So not everybody had it. So this was 1981. Bowling was the #1 viewed sport in the US of A on TVs. Crazy.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I still can't believe it, but the facts are the facts.
Where, these commissioners that make so much money in these leagues, and where David Stern helped blow up the NBA, Roger Goodell has helped blow up the NFL.
Patrick, we would plan our days. I mean, think about it. Back in the day of the 3-4 channels, if we knew.
Oh, yeah.
When you had to walk to school uphill in the
both
snow,
both ways.
Smart Alec.
And we liked it.
Yes.
But
be butched up, not like your generation. Oh my! Go ahead.
It's back in, even when it was the few channels. We would plan our day around the Wide World of Sport because you couldn't go back and there was no YouTube. When we heard the Harlem Globetrotters were going to be on Saturday on Wide World of Sports, we planned our day around that.
Saturday afternoon baseball. We were glued to that TV. Baseball game of the week, baby.
We would get the Braves a lot. And the TV would go silent on WTOG channel 44.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you would just hear the tom-tom drums.
That's it.
And that was the start of Saturday baseball. And we planned our day around it. Now we can go watch it on 1,000 channels after the game. It's
different. It really
it's like
is.
Joshua always says, there's so much more to do now, but you can do it without really missing anything.
That's true.
But that's it. Now there's too much. You can't see everything. You do miss the 3 of us could all be consumed by a completely different TV series, movie,
but we could
album,
go back and watch
but there's too much. There's too much. And I'm saying, I think this is where it is good to have more options and more things to consume. I really, truly miss the shared culture. We had a shared schedule. Like you're watching this show at this time.
Everyone watched Dallas.
And I think the only thing we have left for that might be Sunday Night Football.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's pretty accurate, Josh. Here's what's so funny about this. Now I'm going to get a little conspiracy action going on.
Not you.
Never. We're going to have more distractions than we ever have. I wonder if that was planned. I'm just saying, Scotty. I'm mostly joking, but it does make you wonder. We have more distractions today than we ever have. And I do think that does take away from the productivity, the involving of a better society, a more intelligent society. Josh, we joke around about, hey, just let me have my bratwurst, my beer, and my football game on Sunday. I'm happy. Leave me
And
alone.
look, man, if you
And
take
that's
care
okay,
of your, if
but
you take care of your responsibilities, you're good for your family, you're good for your
Amen.
community. Like, look, man, there's nothing wrong with that. Not
No.
everyone has to save the world, or it's just
Right.
do what you're supposed to do. Do what you're capable
But
of.
it's funny how, we've created football to be so crazy Sunday. A lot of people have a lot of beverages and then they go back to work Monday. They're not as productive as back
But
in the
I would
day.
say we've talked about how we've become like Canada, where our football is their hockey.
Oh, amen.
That's
to that.
number one, and everywhere else is a distant second.
I-
But so what I'm saying is that because we're all kind of craving something to share,
Yes.
because we've all become like everyone has their own like algorithmic isolation chamber. Not to sound so dramatic, but literally all of our
I
timelines
can't
are
even spell that. I'm proud of
no,
it. That
all
was
of our
good.
all
I
of our
can't-
timelines are completely different. The four of us in this room right now
Mhm.
all see completely different stuff. And
That's true.
there's that's not great. There's not, religion isn't what it used to be. That used to be the thing. It would unite and bring everyone. Like we don't have, and I think that, why do we watch sports? Why do we go to sporting events? For me, it's that shared sense of community with the whole community, not just the people in your tax bracket, not just the people you went to school with and look alike. It's everyone. It brings everyone together. And
There's truth to that. It's a nice common bond, to say the least. We're going to take another quick time out here on AM 860, The Answer, the Sports Zone. When we come back, we'll finish up. I want to talk a little fantasy, Josh. Some things are materializing. Do you take some flyers on some guys? We'll have some fun with. A lot of people are already drafted, which I don't get. I believe in
I have my
drafted
draft
after
on
preseason.
Thursday.
You have one on Thursday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, as people are getting older, people have different schedules and stuff. It's not as easy to.
Well, you just want to make sure the whole preseason's done, in my opinion. But
I agree to an extent. Guys can get hurt any day.
that's a good point. All right, we'll be back in just a minute.
Happy Sunday from the Sports Zone with Patrick Highland. And we do hope that it's a happy day and that everything is going as well for you and your family as it possibly can. That today is a good day and that you have many, many more good days in front of you. But no matter how well any of us are doing on this good day, the unfortunate reality of life remains that all of us are likely to face bad days in the future, no matter how distant that future may seem right now. When it comes to matters of health, particularly as we and our loved ones get older, it's predictable that all of us are likely to face hard challenges the longer we live, and that is multiplied by the amount of people we are directly responsible for. You may not want to ask yourself this question, but what if something unexpected happened to you today or tomorrow? How would your family be impacted, particularly those who are relying on you? Is there a plan in place for the bad days that all of us will inevitably face? Just like the best time to prepare for the storm is before storm season arises, so too is it best to prepare for the toughest seasons of your life during these times, which are relatively good and free from the storms. If you don't feel confident that you're prepared for those bad days ahead, either for yourself or your family, give Patrick Highland a call right now. 813-966-1052. That's 813-966-1052. Patrick has insurance solutions and years of experience helping people plan for their financial future and guiding them through the storms of their lives. When it comes to matters of health, finances, and the challenges that go along with getting older, Patrick's experience can help you find the right answers. You can't ensure that bad days ahead won't happen, but you can insure yourself against the worst possible scenarios. So buy yourself some peace of mind while your skies are still peaceful and call Patrick Highland today. 813-966-1052. That's 813-966-1052. And if you're a veteran, we thank you for your service.
Welcome back to the Sports Zone. Let's get back to the discussion. In Hillsboro, 813-289-1860. Anywhere else, toll free 877-969-8600. And now your host, Patrick Highland.
Good morning, folks. Soon to be the afternoon. Top of the morning to you, top of the afternoon, however you want to slice and dice it. Josh, who is your sleeper quarterback of the year, to let the audience know?
Sleeper quarterback. You are putting me on the spot here.
I am,
You did
young
not
man.
prep me during the break.
You're supposed to think of these things.
I like Trevor
in your
Lawrence. I like Trevor Lawrence.
I do like Fabio.
because I think Liam Cohn's really, 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 really.
That's
really,
what I'm
really,
hoping.
really
I'm
good.
hoping you're right, kid.
Really good. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to emerge as elite alpha wide receiver 1 type guy.
I hope you're right, guy.
Yeah,
I want to
like
root
that
in the
offense.
Jags this year. I do want to root in the Jags.
They've got this rookie back too, Bashal Tootin.
Yeah,
Rooting for Tootin. I like him a
Exactly.
lot. He's going to surprise some people.
yeah. I wish they had a tight end, but we'll see how that transpires. And
Don't
I mean,
you
again,
always-
Liam didn't need a tight end.
here
We were
Don't
fine.
You always, Pat.
I do. I think Liam's good, man. He's from this Sean McVay.
I need tight ends.
Joshua and I have heard. We
It's a-
know you do.
I want Gronkowski. Okay.
Dude, we respect you.
Okay. Come on, man. Oh, I know what he meant, Josh. Smart Alec, but that's okay. He's a funny fella. Okay. But no, man, I'm serious. You need a guy out there who can block and catch. It's important. I think so, to go the distance. I'd like to,
I get it. I'm saying you're not going to have an elite guy at every single position, especially when you're the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I trust Liam to make the most out of what they've got.
well, the reason I bring that up on a serious note is Evan Ingram, is he going to do anything at Dallas? I mean, Denver, pardon me.
I mean,
Or
he
Dallas.
could.
You're funny. He could be traded there.
The Broncos are a popular team this year.
Sean Payton, is he going to have Bo Nix rocking and rolling again like he did last year? I think so too. What about the kid Harvey from UCF, baby? Let's give a little shout out to our Florida Night fans, a little Central Florida love.
They are, honestly, the Broncos are kind of like the AFC's version of the Bucks. Like, I think these are the two teams that aren't seen as the best in the conference that are kind of being discussed as, oh, look out for these guys.
Can they beat KC for the AFC West title this year?
I think the Chargers have a better chance.
Well,
I just like the makeup of that team a little bit more.
It's going to be interesting, Josh, for Herbert. Are they going to throw the ball with Harbaugh? Or are they going to run the ball? That's going to be.
Oh, they're
another
going to
thing.
run it, but
I know,
Herbert's going to
man.
be able to chuck that thing too.
I hope so. I like that kid.
You want
a
to
lot.
talk about a kid who, if he was in a different system, could be putting up just video game numbers.
How is it fair to say the Dolphins messed up by not getting him? I say yes. He would have been so awesome there, bro. And with those elite ball players, man, he
Has Herbert been that much better than Tua? Like when Tua's been healthy.
Yeah. If he would have been put in that system, he'd be better than Tua.
I know. I don't know. There's there's no way to ever prove that. I get why you're saying that, but it's just fit the where
Speaking
you
of the
land.
Dolphins, and we spoke about Tyreek Hill. How's he going to do this year in fantasy land?
I think there's a decent chance he gets traded.
Oh, really?
But I also think that his value has become like people are too low on him. He's still Tyreek Hill.
You're telling me if you had if he falls to the 30th pick, you're taking him there?
Around, I mean, again, it depends, but I wouldn't be completely afraid of it. He's still Tyreek Hill, but I am.
How about Waddle?
They're good. They're talented, man.
No, I'm saying he might go in the 5th round. He might be better value in the 5th round than
Do
Tyreek
you
is in the
think
3rd.
Mike McDaniel is still worth anything? Do you think that offense is just everyone's figured it out? To me, I think that team's going to be trash.
Wow.
Trash.
Picking on the Finnies.
Yeah,
Man,
they
come
look
on,
bad.
Josh.
Their over-unders at 8.5, I want to say. It's juiced, but boy, I don't see any way that they just don't have the pieces.
Wow, picking on the Finns. Well, we'll root in the Bucks, we'll root in the Jags, and hopefully the Finns will show up and play decent. Scotty, what do you think about the Finns this year?
I am hoping they do well. I think you're looking at another 500 to maybe a little over a year.
Yep,
maybe.
I agree. Hopefully they'll get things going down in South Florida.
When we are on the air next week,
Yes, sir.
we will be discussing recapping college football games.
Yes, we
How
will.
exciting is that?
It's a beautiful thing. God bless Tampa Bay. Be safe out there. Do a random act of kindness for your fellow man.
Peace and respect, Tampa. Peace and respect.